Hey everyone, I am on page 283 and 284. Your assignment for today is to do all 1 through 18. So let's do some of them together. We don't have a lesson today because it's a little bit of a review because we are still finding the quotient by multiplying by the reciprocal, but instead of having a whole number in there, we're now just doing it with fractions. So let's just do example problems in order to solve these. So I'm on number 1. I've got 4 over 6 divided by the whole number 4. Okay, remember 4 can be treated as 4 over 1. Now let's use the reciprocal method to solve this. I don't do anything to my first number, my first fraction. Division sign changes to multiplication, and I take the reciprocal of this second number. So 4 over 1, the reciprocal of that is 1 over 4. And I can solve now. 4 times 1 is 4. 6 times 4 is 24. I reduce that down to 1/6. I need to check it by using multiplication. So I take my answer of 1/6 and multiply it by the original divisor, which is 4, or 4 over 1. That is equivalent to 4 over 6, and that was my original dividend. I can put a check mark right there. My answer is correct. Let's do number 5. I've got 1/3 divided by 1/2. Let's use the reciprocal method. So 1/3 stays the same. The division sign changes to multiplication, and I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal of 1/2, which would be 2 over 1, or just 2. Therefore, 1 times 2 is 2, 3 times 1 is 3. My answer is 2/3. Let's check it. 2/3 times my original divisor of 1/2, that is equal to 2 over 6. Well, that's not the same as 1/3. Oh, yes it is, because 2/6 can reduce down to 1/3, which then would be my original dividend. It does check out correctly. And then let's do number 11. I've got 10 divided by 2/3. So this is like 10 over 1. That doesn't change. My division sign changes to multiplication, and I take the reciprocal of my second fraction. So that changes to 3 over 2. 10 times 3 is 30. 1 times 2 is 2. 30 divided by 2 is 15. Let's check. 15 times 2/3. That's 15 over 1. 15 times 2 is 30. 30 divided by 3, that does reduce down to 10, which was my original dividend, and I can put a check mark right there. Let's do number 13. On page 284, Thomas spends 3/4 of an hour delivering papers each day. So how many hours does he spend in a week? Well, how many days are in a week? 1 week is equivalent to 7 days. That will be important because he's going to spend 3/4 of an hour every day doing the papers. So 3/4 of an hour every day for how many days? 7 days. So if I have 3/4 and I multiply itself or add itself 7 times, I can say, well, 3/4 times 7 is 21 over 4, which can reduce down to 5 1/4. Okay, let's go back through here, okay? He is delivering papers 7 days, correct? Every day he delivers papers for 3/4 of an hour. So I could even go like this. I could say, well, there's Monday, there's Tuesday, there's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So every day, that's 3/4 of an hour, 3/4 of an hour, 3/4 of an hour. And then that would be 21 over 4 as well, too. This is a much simpler way to solve it, though. 5 1/4 what, though? We're missing our units. 5 1/4 weeks? No, we're asking how many hours he's going to spend. in 1 week delivering papers. So he's going to spend 5 1/4 hours passing out, throwing out newspapers. I'm going to let you do numbers 14 and 15 on your own because you'll need to solve number 14, I believe, before you can solve number 15. So let's do one more then. Let me get one more piece of paper out. Let's try number 17 together. So my rule is whatever the variable is, I'm going to divide by 2/3. So here are all my x's. My x's, they tell me, are 1/2, 1/4, and then 2. So I have to figure out, if I were to plug in this value here, what would my outcome be? Well, here we go. 1/2 is what x is. First of all, if x is 1/2, then what would my outcome be? Well, 1/2 divided by 2/3, I need to solve using the reciprocal, multiplying by the reciprocal, so that would be 1/2 times 3/2, which is equal to 3/4. Let's do another one. If x is 1/4, what is 1/4 divided by 2/3? Again, don't change the first fraction. Division changes to multiplication, and we have to take the reciprocal. This is multiplying by the reciprocal. That would be 3/8. And then lastly, if x is 2, or 2/1, what would it be if it's divided by 2/3? Let's solve using the reciprocal method. Don't change that first fraction. Don't change the first number. That's 6/2, which is equal to a whole number of 3. All right, we did several of them, and hopefully this is just a review from yesterday's lesson as well, too. But we'll have our Zoom call tomorrow morning at 10:30. If you have any questions over this, we may even do a few more while we're on the video call. So this is all that's due today, just numbers 1 through 18. You'll have your quiz tomorrow, though, over this lesson and lesson 113. But today, all you have is numbers 1 through 18. See you later.